Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome dear students to OOP2. So in this class today, in this video, we are going to continue working on the chatting application. In the previous video, I already finished presenting the authentication, let us say, functionality, adding Firebase to your application. So in this video, we are going to activate the chat application to look like this. Okay, so whenever you start typing, for example, hello, you can just immediately get, for example, the text and your maybe the username who is writing this email. Okay, so this is the idea for this video. It's going to be applied in this way. So in this case, we are going to start now running the application on the device before we start. So the application in the beginning is the without any, as you can see. This one after you finish. For now, as you can see, the application will be having everything that we finished like before a chatting feature. And we have, for example, login is done. Already we finished it in the last video. Registration also done by creating these variables for email, password, authentication variable that we need, controller for clearing the text field. And the navigation was done, and everything that we need is almost done. Except the chatting feature. So to start with the chatting feature, in this case, now we can start in the beginning working on creating the variables. Which kind of variables do we need in this? Again, it is almost the same. One of them is we need an import to the authentication library. But this time authentication, we need it for discovering who is like an email. So just to say that one was sending the message, we need the authentication. Also, of course, this time we need to use import the database, which is a cloud Firestore database. So we can store the messages for the user. So in this case, now we are going to create the variable we need for this app. What else we need? I guess that's it. Also later we can make navigation to login. Okay, if there is, sorry there, for example, for sign out. Okay, this one is done. So creating now variables that we need, again, same variable that we created before, final. For example, authentication, Firebase auth dot instance. Okay, this one we need it for later. For example, checking current user or the email of the current user to be precise. Then we need now, this time we need a new variable for Firestore. That's called Firestore. Var Firestore equals Firebase Firestore. It was Firebase Firestore class dot instance. Okay, object to access in the what. So you can use it from this instance. We can send the messages, get the messages from the database. Then we need also another variable for storing the message that we are going to send in the chatting application. So it's also, you can make it as better late string, for example, a message. Later also we need maybe controller if you want to every time to delete the text while user type a new message. Otherwise they should make it manually. Controller equals text editing controller. Then last variable maybe we need to make for the sender. For example, let's say string sender. Of course, here it will be sender. I mean the email of that person who's talking like chatting. Let's say. After that, let us now, for example, it's better just to check on the UI who is let us say the database that I'm using in this app, Android. So I go to the app, I go to the Google service just to see which kind of which database I'm using now. Chat me up. Okay, let's go and find it. Chat me up on the database. So I go now to my projects, for example, Firebase, then chat me up, this one, the chat me up. Then if I go to the users just to see who are the users, so I make authentication. We have too many users. For example, this one, ABC at abc.com, and too many users already registered. What about Firestore? It's not ready yet. Let us create database. I will call it, for example. You can make it a production or testing mode if you want to delete it after 30 days. It's up to you. Allowing anyone can access to this database. After 30 days, going to be deleted. It's okay. It's enough. So if you want to use this code, you have to replace the JSON file with yours. So enable, okay, United States, the allocation for the database is okay. Then, of course, you can access Firestore from here, or you can click on build and then Firestore. It's up to you. Now, okay, there's nothing for now. Later, we can start sending messages, or we can start from here. Now, making the collection in messages, then entering one by one. For example, it's like this, messages. Then it says, okay, give me ID for this document. Just make it auto ID. Then later we will send sender with some text for the message. And the sender, for example, will be, for example, anyone that was sending the message. And the text, for example, will be, for example, any text that's sent by the person. Okay, so I just make a fake example for testing. Later, now, whenever I start testing, if we access this database, we're going to get this like message already. Okay, now let us go and continue from the other side. Now, I need to know about authentication, so I can sign in. For example, this one, I don't know about their password. It's difficult to find, so you have to remember the password that you did when you register. So login abc at abc.com. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Login. It says the user might be deleted, so maybe it's 8978. Okay, still the user might have been deleted. So I guess I have something .com. It was not .com. Okay, login. Still the password is invalid. If I make it enter 6. Okay, it's working now. As you can see now, there is nothing. It's our task to fix the design and fix everything in this code. So let us go back now to the chatting application. We close the Android, we go back to the chat. Now, if we take a look about this design now, the problem with this design is it starts with at the top, the send message and the text field. I guess the correct way is just to make it in the opposite way. And before you start, for example, here we have application bar, we have inside the application bar, okay, we have widgets for actions. These are the actions at the top. Then we have safe area, and then we have column. Inside the column now, as you can see, this is the column that we have. We have container. Inside the container, what we have? We have row. This is the row here. Inside this row, we have expanded for the text field. Then we have a text button for the send, which has no code now. So I think it's better to make it in the opposite way to get better result. Or you can do it in this way if you like. If you want to keep it in this way. The beginning, let us see now about this code. In the beginning, now we have to get the values for the text. So this text field is getting the message. So we can get now a variable message equals value. Now we got the message. After that, now we can go for the text button that we have for implementing the send functionality. So in the beginning, I prefer to get to know who is sending the message. So sender, let us say the variable that you create for receiving sender is equal authentication dot current user and dot email. From this authentication variable, we access to the email. And if we say sometimes it could be null in this case. The async, of course, it will be, our press will be async because there is for example, waiting a process for sending the data to the database. And then here it says, okay, add the null check for the email. I added. The current user also, it could be null. Then authentication, of course, it will be okay, like this. After we finish now getting now the user, maybe it's time now for sending the data, the text that we are writing to the database. So dot collection. Let us say collection that I want to create messages, I will call it. So this is like acting like a table name or a collection name in the database, then dot add. Adding what? Now we have to add inside the add. Now we have, it says provide me with a map data. Let us make a map data. So begin end. For this, I open now a dot map, as you can see here. Inside this map, what I want to send now, I want two things maybe. For example, now I want to send the sender field. The sender field will receive what? The sender from our code. We'll receive the sender from sender. Sender from and we send it. So this one will be key, as you know, this is the value. Then for the message, let us say we can call it a text or you can call it a message. It's up to you what to call it. Then the second key will be message itself, or you can call it a text, and we will send this one message that written by user, which is this actually the user input. So now in this case, as you can see in this database, we have messages. Inside messages, we have a document which has two fields: sender, which will be the sender that here that we got, and the message who's sending the message, and the message itself. Okay, that's sent by user. Then after that, if we take a look about now the application, just so we run it. For example, write anything. We send. Let us check it out. Is it sent or not to the database? Now it's okay. We have it right. The message and sender. These are the keys and these are the values for the input. Okay. So now both of them we have them already. So in this case now what's left? Let me show you now on the UI part. The UI part now the text still is there. Every time you send a message, I'll send again. It will be sent to the database, as you can see, but it will stay on the screen. So now it's time to fix this one. As you know, we have to delete the text. What time is good to delete the text? After you finish the add, immediately you can just, now here, let us say I finish now sending the message to the database. Firebase collection.add, the add function will send the data here to the collection. So here, after that, we can just make a controller.clear, but we have to go to the text field. Where is text field? Find it. I may already make a variable for controlling the text field value, controller. I have to set to the text field, so controller. I will give also my controller variable that I created. So now I have control on this variable. Whenever there's at any certain time, you can just call controller.clear to delete the data. So after I send the message to the database, controller.clear, clear, yes, to delete the database. Look at here now, run. Whenever now I type something, hello, send, it's immediately deleted, and at the same time, it's immediately stored on the database. Okay, it's there. So now we finish first type, I think it's finished. Now the problem when we get the data from the user, now we want to show this data. Either we can show it below, but usually in chat applications, it should be the opposite way. It should be at the bottom. This, for example, this row should be at the bottom. So in this case, I guess it's better just to start now working on the other part. Before the container, which has everything here, we can start now working on getting the data that we need. So to get the data, usually we use, let me show you now, okay, in the children. We use the StreamBuilder to get the data that we have. This StreamBuilder actually is working with QuerSnapshot. Then you open this, for example, a StreamBuilder that you have. After that, you can start now setting all this, for example, StreamBuilder that we have. So inside, let me just put the format. Okay, inside the StreamBuilder, always it will ask you now for the builder and for stream, for example. So stream is the location for from where you want to get the data stream. So I will say it's from Firestore, the variable that we create for Firestore here to access the database. This variable will allow you to access the Firestore. Then dot, we have collections to access specific collections. Then collection, as you know, we are storing our collections in here, as you can see, inside the messages, for example. So I will make it messages. Then dot, we have always to use snapshots to access the snapshot. Is just also stream of query snapshot, which will return for you the data, notifies of a query results and these locations. After you finish in stream now, it's time for working on the builder to build the, let us say, the UI part. So we will say here in the beginning always, when you start typing, if this, for example, if this snapshot, okay, so builder always, sorry, we'll take two parameters, the builder, same as maybe this builder also, context with snapshot for receiving, snapshot. Okay, begin end. So now begin end. Okay. This now snapshot for receiving the items from the database. So builder now, if we just want to verify, you can check. It's also asking for these two variables, for example. Context with the snapshot. Okay. Now it will be more clear when we start coding. So if the snapshot dot has data is false, if there is no data from inside the database, maybe till now the user didn't start typing anything, or there are no any data inside the database. At that time, it's better just to return what? To return, let us say, center. Inside the center, we will return only progress bar. So this one, child, circular, progress bar indicator. This one will just keep showing. Now there is, for example, now if we just make it in this way. Okay. If a statement is done. So in this case, if a statement, what's happening here? Error. Okay. So if there is no data, show that one. Otherwise, we'll create final messages to receive the messages equals the snapshot dot. For example, now we have to access the data that we have by using the data. For example, this one data property, then dot docs to access the documents that we have. So it says here maybe the data will be null. Okay, I put null safety. So now I said let us say I received the documents now. After that, let me say I want to show a text, a list of text. So I want to create list of text to show on the screen, to show all the messages. I will call, for example, messages, widgets. And this list is actually just empty for now. Okay. Actually is empty now. After that, we can now create two variables for receiving to extract the data from this message. So, but before this, now we have to go as you. If we just take a look about this messages, actually it's what? It's list. So accessing a list always, you know, we have to use what for loop to access the list. And so I will make it for var I in. Go to the messages, access these messages that we get from the database. The list, begin in. After you access these messages, let us say it says, okay, maybe it will be null. Okay, I'll put the exclamation, say yes. Maybe it could be null because I'm not sure. Maybe there are nothing inside this list. So final, let us say messages, message text. So it's actually the I inside this I inside the document. There is what we have to check with the database. What was so it was message, then it field name and sender for to if you want to get the message, you have to write message inside this document. If you want to get the sender, you have to write what sender, the property name. Let us say inside the or the key name inside the map. So if the message, it was message. Second one, final sender message. Sender equals I of sender, right? And the database goes like this, the key and value. So after getting a message and sender, now we can go for the final step, final message widget. So message widget equals, now I have to create now on the UI part, so I will say it's a text. This text will show two things. For example, it will show now $sign and message text I want to show on the screen always when user start chatting. Then it's from home, from $sign the message sender, right? If you want to make it in this way, you can do it. After that, now I created the message. For example, I have to add it to the where to my list, so I can show it here on the list view. So this list was what messages widgets. It was message widgets. So message widgets dot add. So add that message widget. This message widget, single one, okay. Of course, this one should be more great message, maybe list, let us say. So now almost this one also done. After we finish now here, for example, after you finish the for loop, now it's time for returning. After that, for the builder, we have to return now what? Let us say expanded, because without expanded, the list view will not be accept to show these items. If you only return the list view, this will be hidden from the screen. It will be out of the boundaries. So inside the child, we will just say, I want to return what? List view. List view, for example, it will be, okay, let's open the constructor for the list view. So this list view is showing what? In the beginning, I will just make it to be shown in the reverse order. From top to bottom instead of bottom to the top. I'll make it true, okay? To be showing the correct from example, starting from bottom to the top. I have to set some padding just for UI things. Understand, as you know, just to not get warnings, page inserts. Insert, edge, sets dot all from all directions. Let us make it 20 okay pixels. Then children for this message will be the this one, the message regions that we have. So now if we run it, okay, field exists within the snapshot. It says one of the field is wrong. I forget to use this message text. Okay, one. Okay. Just run it again. Message with sender. Let us just check it on the database. Message and sender. The spelling seems correct, right? But maybe for the first one, it was this. It was there is a problem. I delete this one. I think this one is causing the error. There is no text. And the problem. I delete that. Oh, let's delete it all. Okay, anyway. By mistake, I did everything. Let us just start again like that. abc.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now there is no text in that. Let us start the typing. Send. Okay, now it's working as you can see. The app is working fine, okay. Send. Okay, so the app now is working without any issues. Just I make it as I said in the opposite way. So whenever you start now typing IT department, okay, it's somehow the messages are not showing in a correct manner. So we have for this, we can maybe do some inverse for the list view. We already make it reverse here. Okay. And what we can do is for reverse. If we can do another view, the list view should be reversed, and the other one also 16. Now the list view is reversed. And this reverse, okay, what we have another list. I think for reversing it's that's it, I guess. Maybe because just we have, I think we should only delete the messages from the database and start typing again, I guess, and that's it. Everything will be fine. Let me know, just know if there is any issue later. You can delete all the messages and check them on your side. Or maybe you say, I want to make some improving for UI now. I'm not satisfied with this. So why not do it? Okay, you can just do improvement. Where is the message text here? For example, we can make some style. Yeah, if we make now here, for example, from /n we have, okay, see how it works. Now we'll make them, for example, different lines if you want to make it in this way. So you can make the customization, or you can maybe say, I don't want to use, for example, list text. I want to make using ListTile. Maybe it's also a good idea. So instead of text, I will just list, I will say list of text, ListTile, sorry. ListTile maybe is more better for list text. So now this one, I will make it ListTile. The ListTile, as we can see later, let me just make it bigger and better. This style now has what? For example, title. For a title, we can give the message text. And for the subtitle, we can give, for example, the message sender. So maybe you like this way is better, I guess. Let us search down. Say something is not subtype of widget. So if we just check it out, where is string is not subtype of. It says okay, so it's clear. The title and the subtitle they accept only widgets, and they are providing text. So let us just make it as a widget text, and the message text will put here inside. Then this one also this will make text, and inside the text you put this. Now it's working fine. Okay, so hello IT department, whatever sender. But sender now, as you can see, the color is black somehow. Maybe you want to change the color for the sender. So after that, style, text style. Then color, let us make it, for example, colors of the. Maybe now it's better. Okay, now it's better a little bit. Then maybe you say, I don't want to, for example, to use subtitle and title. Maybe you want to use subtitle also has here, as you can see, leading, title, trailing. Maybe you say I want it using leading and trial, for example. Let's make it leading. And this is like trailing. It looks like this. Okay, each one like from or maybe you need to use leading with subtitle. So again, it's like this. Okay, so you can control, and if you don't like, you can just check which one of this like you like. If you want to change any attributes, colors from here, you can also do it. Okay, tile, color, and so on. If you want to say, I want to make text bigger, okay, why not? Let's give it title. Then text, let's say style. I'll make text style, for example, size, font size is 20, for example. Okay, now the text is bigger. You can keep doing this one. You can add the colors, for example, and make it more interesting until you get that. Then also maybe you can, for example, checking, for example, where is this variable? Maybe also later you can make Boolean variable, for example, is me, just to check. Equals, let's say, this Boolean variables is me equals by default. You can say it's true, maybe by default. Then later you can check, for example, during here, for example, if you text, for example, so here if we just check it beside this one, is me equals. What is the current user inputted? Let's check it out. Where is it is me variable? Okay, for example, it's already here. So on the press, every time you check on me, just check it is me. Equals sender. If the sender okay. If sender equals, so how to check the logic if this one is us or not? If the sender of this message, for example, equals, so sender now is the email of this one, of this person. So we have to go maybe later when the message is being sent, check it. If the sender is okay, where is the sender here? If this one is equal to the, if the sender equals to one, if the sender equals to the, for example, to the email being sent here and in the value, we can maybe do some checking, for example, here. List title, okay, adding. Okay. It's up message title. For example, if sender equals the current user is this current. So we have to check if the sender equals to him. If the sender equals to the message text type, then the message is here message sender. So if the sender of this application, and I'm sending the message equal to the message sender, message sender, beginning is me equals. So now we can make it like this way. Then here, if it is me true, let's start it, for example. So inside now this text style, you can put now two styles, for example. If you just go, for example, for a title, let us say, or we can just, if it is, for example, true, make these final messages. Otherwise, maybe in the else, you can make different styles. Okay, you can make it if else. Or here inside the message, also maybe inside the title, you can just check it. If this is me true, use this one, style. Otherwise, maybe Okay, sorry, if it is me, is it true? Not here, for the styles, right? So if it is me, question mark, use this one. If it's false, maybe we can use another one. Just like this, for example, different styles. So many conditional arguments. Now here style doesn't accept, so if you take it, close it. Maybe we can do it in that way. Okay, style. Okay, this one. If is it me? True. Use this one. Otherwise, for example, make different. We can make a different size, different text style, color. So for example, color here we can make, for example, colors dot white. If me. If not me, for example, I can take this one, put it here, and before subtitle, for example. So if it's me, make it white. If it's not me, for example, make it, for example, let us say, what do you like, which color is good on the black? Let us say, for example, green color, green accent, okay? So if it's not you, it will be the green text. If it's you, it will keep as white. Or you can make it black, okay? So it's up to you. I'm just showing you how to change the style according to the art, okay? You can keep going, testing. Now, if someone join now, whenever they write, they will, okay. Then you can, of course, you can make alignment left, right. It's if you like to. Okay. Now the text is showing a column, for example. Then this main axis alignment. Okay, the cross axis alignment dot separate. I guess it's okay now. But if you want to make it also different, you can. If it is not you, for example, the cross axis alignment, it will be, for example, if it is me, is it true? If it is me, is it true? Make a cross axis alignment to start. Otherwise, for example, make it the text on the right side, right? Dot end. In this case, I guess it's working. Yes, now whenever someone working, if it is you, if it's you, it will be the text on the left. If it is not you, it will be on the right. Okay, or you can make it the opposite way, I guess also it's working. So it's up to you on the cross-axis alignment. Probably it's working. Still, if it doesn't work, maybe you can find now other ways if something wrong with this. Okay. So it means maybe I don't know, load the application again, or just maybe putting here. You can apply any idea come to your mind until you become satisfied with the application. Okay. I hope that you learned from this video, and also, of course, we're going to repeat this one in the lab. Thank you, and have a nice day.